Mai, the newest addition to Street Fighter 6, is a nimble and mix-up heavy character who primarily uses her quick buttons and insane walk speed to whiff punish opponents and force them to interact with her up close in the corner. She has great damage, solid frame data, and one of the best wall carries in the entire game. And today I'm going to show you everything that I know about Mai and how you can start playing her right after watching this video. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Let's go over all of her buttons, because if you don't understand how her kit works and her buttons work, you're not going to get anywhere with this. So lights are really good. Good range by itself. The light kick is abysmal, however it is really good if you're up close, since there's a target combo you can use, which is light, and then you can follow up with your dive kick. The things you want to use are going to be the regular stand jab, crouch jab, and also her light kick. Her crouching light kick is really good. Has solid range for a light, and you can link it up with two other lights, which then can result in a full combo if you're using quarter circle forward kick. A jumping light kick and cross up, really important note, because cross up buttons are important in this game. That's pretty much it for her lights. She has really good range if she's up close. She can abuse them very hard. If you're playing her, make sure to abuse her lights at like a close range, whether in the corner or like if you're the one who's cornered. Good overall. Mediums. So her mediums are very interesting for sure. So a crouching medium punch and a crouching medium kick are very stubby, as you can see. They're very stubby. Like, I will not be able to hit Ryo all the way up until here. And that is an issue for a couple of reasons. You can make up for it with other medium buttons, but like overall the kick version and the punch version of crouching are both not the greatest. However, her stand medium kick actually has really good range in comparison, as well as standing medium punch. Both of them have good range to make up for it, and you can special cancel the standing medium punch into pretty much whatever you want. So you can actually drivers cancel it, just so you can drivers cancel crouching medium punch and crouching medium kick. Crouching medium punch is mostly going to be used as a combo tool more than anything, not necessarily going to be used as a whiff punish tool. You can whiff punish in certain scenarios, like right here, like very niche, so you can hit the button as a starter and then do whatever, but usually at mid-range we would like to use these two buttons, right? And especially standing medium punches that come in towards us, because we can combo them after that. So great whiff punish tools right here. These are mostly going to be used as combo tools. Obviously, if you land hit crouching up close, obviously you can go for crouching medium kick, but other than that, not that great. It is fast though. It is 7 frames, so overall you can make use of that. However, let's talk about the low that's actually good on her, which is her sweep. Her sweep has massive range, also really good advantage frame, so you can dash up and do like a whole setup right here if you want to, then punish your opponent. And honestly, her heavy tools by itself are probably your best tools that you would like to use in neutral. So her heavy kick right here, her regular heavy kick, really strong, as you can see. Pushes her back a little bit initial startup frames, so you can actually make use of that with hurt box shifting. And also her heavy punch, really good. And her crouching heavy punch is also good if you're using it as like a combo tool. Another thing I'd like to mention, she has a back heavy kick, and this button has a target combo right here. So it's very similar to Terry, very also the target combo. But the other thing that's really good about it is it actually is a phenomenal anti-air tool. So if I have Ryo try to jump at me right here, you see how like it hits from very far. Even from here it might be able to hit. Yeah, like if you're ever in doubt and you're just walking backwards and you can't get the input in time, dude, I'm telling you, back heavy kick, great. Actually, like, phenomenal tool that you can use. So let's talk about the general neutral game plan now. We went about her general buttons that you would like to use and when. So her game plan by itself is pretty much a Shoto-esque playstyle combined with rushdown. So what I mean by that is you have a general fireball that you have with Mai, right, that you can throw at the opponent. You can either charge this or not and choose what to do with it. This fireball will lose to another regular fireball unless you have fire stalks. However, if you charge it, you're able to go through it, and as well as that, you can combo the opponent, as you can see, into a guaranteed hit afterwards. If you're drivers canceling and pressing a button, you can actually like full combo from afar. Which is why I'm saying this is mostly going to be a rushdown playstyle, since you're not trying to use the fans as a defensive tool. Just keep the opponent away the entire time. It is mostly going to be used as a setup tool, where you EX the opponent, you go for buttons right here, go for a setup, go for a DP afterwards as a finisher, or like level 1, 2, 3, right? You have a bunch of options here that you can use, but it's mostly going to be use your fireballs, or quote-unquote your fan in this case, right, to get in on the opponent or to build any amount of pressure. If you want to go over fireballs, so let's say for example the Ryu is fireball spamming a lot against you, like right here, she actually has a tool against that, which is her dive kick. The dive kick is really good for that in particular because it is very, very quick. So you can just punish the opponent, and if you manage to land on the opponent's toes, it's like right here, you actually are safe. So you're not going to get punished if you are close to the opponent and they're still blocking. You're not going to just get punished for it immediately. You're actually able to take the risk of jumping at the opponent with a dive kick and risking it and then getting into pressure. Usually the buttons you would like to use in neutral, in my opinion, are sweep to whiff punish, standing medium kick to poke the opponent. Really, really good button. Like, actually really good button. You can use heavy kick for the same thing, just from a bit further away, right? You can even combo afterwards if it's a punish counter right here. You can do this into like something simple like that. We're gonna go over combos in a little bit anyway. I'm just trying to show you like what you can actually do with a character. Crouching medium kick, if you actually manage to somewhat get close on the opponent, if they're scared of like your big whiff punish buttons, you can actually use crouching medium kick and get in. Other than that, medium punch also really good. Just poke the opponent. And another thing I would like to mention right here, if you want to just have a very, very quick way of just punishing the opponent, you can always use quarter circle backwards light punch after medium punch in order to just get something. You are +3 here, so you can press another button against the opponent. So you can do, for example, crouching medium punch where they're trying to press a button and then win against them right here. If you're a bit closer, you can actually land the button by itself, so it's not going to just randomly whiff on the opponent. You can also use your light punch right here, which is pretty much more range than this, right? So you can do, for example, this right here, and then try to punish the opponent like this if you're just a bit closer. And then continue the pressure on from that point forward. Now let's talk about what happens when you actually land the hit with her, because this is the juicy part from Mai. So Mai, for me, is a very, very heavy rushdown and setup character, which is great for Street Fighter 6 because you don't really have that many characters that are like this. So I'm going to go over the juicy part now. So let's talk about combos, since advantage state obviously is a huge part of the game, and if you can't land your setups, then what is the point, right? And if you can't land your combos, you're just going to be exposed to your opponent hitting you for literally nothing. So let's start with her light confirms. As I've already showed you, this is the go-to combo that you would like to do on Mai, which is a crouching light kick into light punch, light punch. So you're going to do crouching light kick, light punch, and then quarter circle forward K. Quarter circle forward light kick is what you would like to do right here. And then, as you can see, you have massive space that you're covering for the stage. If you're here, for example, you're already able to get your opponent literally to the corner. So very, very good by itself. And now I'm going to show you what are the setups and Oki and everything else you can get off of this one setup alone. And we're pretty much going to build all of our knowledge from this particular scenario into the rest of the character with all other confirms. So if you're landing this, for example, you have a handful of options. Number one, let's talk about the non-drive rush options. So if you're just trying to get at the opponent. Right here, what you can do is you can dash up and then go for something as simple as just a throw. Throw is really good. Strike, you have medium punch that you can land. You can actually meaty this manually. And then if you manage to do it correctly, you can combo 2 medium punches into each other, like so. And then get a combo like this. Very, very good. And another thing that we can do right here is actually go for her standing light kick. So if you don't know, her standing light kick is a target combo. So right here, if you press light, 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 you're hitting 3 buttons at the same time. And then afterwards, you can go for a dive kick. So the reason why this is really good is because we can just meaty this. And then if we manage to land the combo, we can actually go for the dive kick and follow up with it. And then get back into the opponent for pressure. If not, we can just stop right here. We are -10 if the opponent just blocks this. However, we're so far away that basically nothing can really punish this besides supers. Like a level 1 super from Ryu could punish this. However, there is even counterplay where you can just straight up dive kick away from it and not even worry about that, right? So basically, you can dash up medium punch into a full combo. As a meaty, you can go up and do your melee light, like this. And you can go for something like a throw. That is like the very, very basic stuff you can do. Obviously, you can also just shimmy and wait for the opponent to DP or whatever. That also is always an option, but I'm just talking about the offensive ones right now. Now let's go over Drive Rush. For Drive Rush, we have the overhead that Mai has. If you don't know, forward medium punch is an overhead. Overhead basically just means if the opponent blocks low, they're going to get hit by this. So you're going to get an opening for free. And because of that, we can now punish our opponent fully and then get a combo like so. Then push him even further into the corner. Number 2 is going to be the Drive Rush in with back heavy kick. Back heavy kick will lead into a direct standing heavy punch and also get the opponent to stand. Force him to stand so you can land this combo right here. Which will again push our opponent into the corner really, really quickly. Very, very strong. So these are the 2 options that you have off of Drive Rush. You should go for the overhead right here or the back heavy kick. Obviously, you can always go for throw in this case if you want to. Or you can also go for a Drive Rush jab and just sit in front of the opponent like this. So if they try to go for a DP, they will get punished for it. You can full punish them afterwards and not really care. Okay. Let's talk about their medium confirms, since we obviously are going to hit mediums as well, even though not as much as lights in this case. For medium, you would like to go for the following combo, which is crouching medium kick into back heavy kick. Then we go for a crouching medium punch like this, and then for a full setup like this. Which is also really good for corner carry again. You can pretty much do this off of like any other confirm that isn't a light. So if you're hitting heavy, for example, you can also just go for the same setup right here and then land it and push into the opponent. So this is just your general bread and butter combo that you would like to use if you're landing anything that isn't a light. So if you're hitting like this, you can go for that combo. You can do it right here. Boom, 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 boom. You know, you don't even have to worry about it. That is a really good combo. It's very, very solid, very good value. As for shimmy, if we're actually shimmying our opponent, what is the best thing to do? Shimmy, best thing you can do is crouching medium punch into standing heavy punch and then landing the combo that we just talked about. So you're gonna hit medium punch right here into all of that in the corner carry. If you are actually in the corner and you're landing this, you can just do DP instead. Instead of the quarter circle forward kick, you can also just go for DP for extra damage if you'd like to. However, I do have to note one thing. If you're trying to cancel into level 3, you have to actually use this special because DP can't be special canceled. If you want to land a full combo like this, you have to cancel the level 3 right after the quarter circle forward light kick in this case. Alright, and now let's go for a juicer combo, which is her DP punish. So this is the DP punish I came up with. This costs 0 stocks, so I'm just going to show you right now. Make sure to pay close attention and make sure to copy it, because it is a juicer. Like that. That's 5,726 damage. That's a lot of damage by itself. And yeah, this is like one of the simplest combos you can do to just get loads of damage. So whenever you have your opponent go for a super, go for a DP, this is the go-to combo you would like to do. And if you don't have the time to go for the kick, like the jumping kick, you can always just start with standing heavy punch and do the combo just like I gave it to you right there. So now that we know how our combos, let's talk about what we can actually do in the advantage save once we are a little bit further. So once we're here, if you actually manage to get in the corner right here, Mai actually does have throw loops. All you have to do is just dash up towards the opponent and throw them right away. You don't have to time anything. You just literally dash at the right timing, like pretty much as soon as possible, and then you just throw your opponent. If you want to shimmy them, you just have to walk back a singular step. You're actually pretty far away, like you're literally just at an inch of throw range. You're not inside your opponent. So all you have to do if you want to shimmy is just walk back a singular step, literally, and then try to punish your opponent right then and there. And if you want to land any buttons against them, you can also just go for something like a standing heavy punch against them as a meaty, or a medium, crouching medium punch is another thing that you can do, or just jabs, right? You have a couple of options that you would like to do at a super close range like here, but if you're in the corner, the things you would like to set up actually are going to be with your fan, since you have a bunch of high-low mix that you can do against your opponent right here in order to punish them. So you can go for a high like this and finish a combo, or you can go for just a throw afterwards. Like if, for example, you're doing it right here, you can literally just throw the opponent before the fan can hit. So you have a bunch of setups right here that are still in the works and being labbed, so make sure to just look out for those setups that are going to come in the future, which are going to be either on Twitter, or on YouTube, or anywhere. Might even post some setups myself, so make sure to watch out for that. But yeah, as for the buttons you would like to use in pressure, like in the corner, standing medium punch, really good. As I said, standing medium punch into like a fan, for example, is really good. You can also fully charge this. So if you're like far away from your opponent like this, and they try to press a button against you, let's say for example, they block it, you can just avoid like a crouching medium kick here actually. So let's have Ryu actually block. Pressing medium punch right here. As you can see, this is not going to hit me, so I can either hit crouching medium kick right here, or medium punch, or to punish my opponent, right? Or I can actually go for a fan setup right here, and then try to get some pressure going. This button by itself is really good in the corner, just because you can actually punish your opponent right here, and then medium kick is actually a really good tool as well, or medium punch to punish afterwards. Standing heavy is also really good because you can throw a fireball right after, like this. So if the opponent is trying to punish you, you can just slightly delay this right here, and then really punish them very lightly. You can also go for something like this, and then try to trade with your opponent, or just DP afterwards. But yeah, usually for pressure, what you would like to do is you like to get in as close as possible, and usually get a throw loop going, or like any jab setup right here. Because if you manage to get a jab setup going for yourself, you have pressure and loops again, just like we had mid-screen, right? So you'd be able to go for something like this into an overhead again, or like anything like that. And it doesn't cost much bar either. If you land the setup, you can just do it into like, you can just combo it into crouching medium kick again, or crouching, sorry, you can combo into crouching medium punch again, and then get a whole string from that point forward. So usually you want to stay a bit further away, poke the opponent, fan them away, force them to do something in the corner. That's usually what I like to do. And then when I notice them not pressing anything, you can start going in for throws and like drive rush pressure and like everything under the sun. Fortunately, Mai doesn't have a singular plus frame button on block, so you can't just like mash something and expect like an outcome for you that's going to be good. So you have to roughly play around like this range and just do whatever. But this is mostly where her stocks come in. So her stocks actually can be activated by level 1. So if you are in the corner right here and you land a specific combo, like any combo into like level 1, it doesn't even matter what you land into level 1. Like something super simple like this. She has her stocks activated now, right? So your pressure game now is a lot better, since all of her special moves are actually empowered now, right? And what that means is basically they do more damage, but they also have more setup power. So if I'm landing like a button like this right here, see how there's like the flame, so it's like a multi-hit, and they have a lot more to block than by itself. And also the level 1, if you use it again, now has way more range than before. So certain combos that weren't possible beforehand are now definitely possible. So as you can see, if I'm landing this, I'm actually too far away from my opponent to punish me, which is phenomenal. This is like one of the few things that you don't really see in this game, where like a super is like, you know, it can push the opponent far enough away that you can't really punish it. But yeah, stocks by itself are like a whole topic on its own that I won't really be going over too much today. I haven't been using them too much. I kind of think they're a gimmick in a sense, unless you have the opponent cornered already and you can use level 1. They seem really good because they empower your special moves, right? So if you're landing, for example, a combo right here, you're pushing the opponent further than beforehand, so it actually is really good. However, activating this in a combo, like just a level 1, very difficult. You would have to land anything that's like super close into like an immediate level 1, or like a drive impact into a level 1, or you could technically even anti-air with this. Like if you have Ryu jump at you, technically you can anti-air with it because it's like super far up, as you can see, is like a really high hitbox. That's one of the things that you could do with it, but time will tell what exactly we're going to do with these stocks. For now, I just think you should just avoid them for the most part and just not worry about it, and rather just learn the character as is with the tools that are given to you. And if you do manage to have stocks, then you can obviously use them, right? Okay, let's talk about a disadvantage state. And honestly, a disadvantage state isn't anything special, I would say, compared to other characters. One thing I do want to note though is her dive kick. Her dive kick actually is really good for one reason in particular. If you do manage to land the EX version, you can actually cancel into level 2 and you get massive corner carry. So if you are ever in a situation where your opponent is trying to throw loop you, this is a very good counter measurement, and you can immediately cancel this into level 2. If you're very low on drive gauge and need a way to get out or anything like that, this is like a good solution. And overall, just using this is a good solution too, like just a regular dive kick. This is like one of the few things that dive kick characters have. They can get out of situations others can't, or it can way easier. She has, again, good crouching light kick to get out. Combos you can see right here. You can just do 1-2 right here and then get out, right? You can do crouching medium kick or sweep. If you manage to sweep the opponent, you can just pressure them as you would like. Or with crouching medium kick, you can just get out too. Right, so you have really good options on defense. You also just have an invincible DP, so level 1 right here, invincible level 2, and obviously an invincible level 3 in order to get out of pressure. Yeah, her defense isn't really anything that is like special except the dive kick into level 2. I think that one's actually kind of nuts. Bear in mind, only the X version. You can't do regular and then just expect to get to level 2 right here. It has to be that. My current impression of the characters, I think she has a ton of potential, and I actually do think she is really strong if you just give her the time of day and actually let her like develop, right? She has pretty good poke. She has pretty good poke buttons overall. She has good whiff punishes. She has strong setups that she can use to get the opponent to just play her game, right? Like to block, to try to get out with like a DP or anything, or use like any setups to like avoid basically getting hit by key setups. I just think her pressure like off drive rush is really good, because also her drive rush by itself is very fast. However, one thing I would like to note about the drive rush is it's short. Like, so like you can't just play DJ and be like, oh, I'm in your face like right here, right? You can't do that. You have like a very fast fall off. Like you're very quick initially, but you fall off very hard after. So you gotta just keep that in mind, that like mostly her drive versus use of the mid-range to do stuff like this, right? So you can just 1, 2, 3, boom. Okay, now I can pressure, boom, boom, and then you land that, right? And then now you could have gone for like a flame stock combo right here if you landed it properly, right? You could have gone for this into like level 2 or level 1, right? So you can get your stocks, and then once you have your stocks right here, oh, now I can actually pressure the opponent, right? You can do like whatever here now with your opponent and fuck them over. So you have, as you can see, like you have potential, and you have a bunch of subs to the character, and she also does a considerable amount of damage. For somebody I thought would have very little. Like I thought this character is gonna have like almost no damage, even off of like heavy punishes like level 3 and whatnot, but actually it turns out she does have damage if you just play it right. Yeah, and yeah, these are my thoughts and impressions on Mai. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. If you have any questions or anything like that, you're more than welcome to just ask them in the comment section, and or ask me on Twitch or on Discord or wherever. You can reach out to me. And if you want more content like this or a personalized experience, also offer coaching and MetaFi. Link for that is in the description down below. And I'm going to be releasing a rookie to master guide on Mai pretty much as quickly as I can. I still have the Terry one that I basically just didn't finish. It is almost done. I'm going to release that one as well. So both of the KOF characters are going to get some love. And yeah, thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a good one. Bye.